Shortly after hearing his fate, former Bosnian Croat military chief Slobodan Praljak shouted, "I am not a war criminal," and lifted a vial of liquid to his lips. He tilted his head back and swallowed. A short time later, he told the confused court and the judge who had affirmed his 20-year sentence for murdering Muslims and other war crimes, "I just drank poison." His death was reported by Croatian state TV later on Wednesday. It was a defiant final act for the 72-year-old accused of ethnic cleansing 2 decades ago in a failed attempt to create a Bosnian Croat mini-state, according to the Associated Press. The appeal of Praljak was one of the final matters for the International Criminal Tribunal for the former Yugoslavia. Praljak was accused of using violence and murder to drive out Muslims. Praljak facilitated the murder of Muslims who did not belong to any armed force, and the destruction of property in Stupni due in October 1993, according to the United Nations. He was indicted in March 2004 and pleaded not guilty a month later. But on May 29, 2013, he was found guilty of all charges. The appeal was the only thing standing between Praljak and possibly spending the rest of his life in prison. The tribunal is expected to conclude next month. The Hague, Netherlands, AP, UN judge, courtroom where Croat claimed to have taken poison is now a crime scene. Josh Lederman, at Josh Lederman AP, November 29, 2017. For now, it is suspended as questions swirl around Praljak's actions, including what he swallowed and how he was able to sneak it into a war tribunal. Croatian Prime Minister Andrej Plenković told Reuters he regretted Praljak's death. His act, which we regrettably saw today, mostly speaks about a deep moral injustice towards 6 Croats from Bosnia and the Croatian people. We voice dissatisfaction and regret about the verdict, Plenković said. Praljak was one of the leaders of a group that sought to form a Greater Croatia during the 1992-95 war in Bosnia, according to the Financial Times. Prosecutors said he helped destroy the iconic 16th-century bridge in the Bosnian city of Mostar in November 1993, according to Newsweek. He also facilitated and concealed his armed forces' killing of Muslim civilians, including victims of the Stupni Do massacre. According to the Washington Post's David Ottaway, more than 36 civilians in the Bosnian mountain village of Stupni Do were killed by Bosnian Croat militiamen from the nearby town of Ver, allegedly seeking revenge for the loss of another hamlet to Muslim forces. Rolf Wekesser, an international peacekeeping monitor who got to the village days after the attack, found a scene of complete destruction, according to the tribunal's findings, with the houses still smoldering and about 20 bodies burnt beyond recognition, some of them the bodies of children. There were no indications of fighting. UN forces that arrived shortly afterward were disgusted by the Croat soldiers' actions. "Those who did this are not soldiers, they are scum," Brig. Angus Ramsey, the chief of staff of the UN,